So right now we are in the Jeevanmukta chapter, Contemplation of Tattva Bodha, the last few talks by Prabhuji. So before we go there, any particular questions on anything that you heard today about Brahmagnanavali Mala? Rupaji, is there anything that you would like to bring up? Yes, Sarunanji.
Yeah. So this truth, this learning, this knowledge, I cannot display this with the body mind, right?
No, it comes out through body mind only. So this comes out in the form of how you live, and it comes out in the form of how others perceive it around you. It is not necessarily to be spoken, but it is felt deeply in the form of how you live and how others are able to see that difference. So around Sadguru, you feel the presence of peace because the Sadguru is established in this truth. And the transformation happens in the presence of the Sadguru because you feel something different. You feel something that is innate, awakening within you. So it is a living reality.
The presence of Sadguru in a satsang, what I realize is that moment briefly, the body mind, at least the body mind, the what do I say, the presence of the body mind, I feel like it kind of dissolves for that time, and as a result, around at that time, I feel like I may be getting closer to the real nature. Okay, but when I am not in the satsang or in the presence of a guru, then the body mind is a lot more prominently there, and as a result, like it just happened like this week, and I felt like very normal, or nothing different from an unrealized person. I got angry, upset, I just shouted, and then like when I got back, I felt like this, the prominence of the body mind, it again, it's changing. So, but it was kind of I was ashamed.
No need to be. So first thing is, there is a wonderful, very short Zen story. So it kind of brings the focus on before and after. So the master was asked, how was it before enlightenment and how is it after enlightenment? Master said, I used to chop wood, I used to carry water.
Yeah.
Oh, now how is it? Master says, I am chopping wood, I am carrying water. And the story ends. So from outside standpoint, there is nothing that really can be seen as a difference.
Yeah, that's fine. But inside, now I'm talking about inside.
Yeah. So that is where is the difference? This is the most important thing to be aware of. So that's why there is a punaha even in Brahmagnanavali that Shankaracharya speaks about. The one who realizes that he is a mere witness after repeated contemplation, because the impressions in the mind are deeply ingrained. So what is the difference that we're talking about? So there is really, from an outside standpoint, what you see is more or less the same. There is awareness, there is mind, and there is ego in both the places. But where is the difference? There's a vast difference internally. There is still a deeply held belief or thinking process that I'm a body and mind.
Yeah, it's a lot more prominent.
But it, compared to prior to getting into the, let's say, teachings of a Sadguru versus now, it would have started dissolving.
Okay. Yeah. But
The grip,
not
the
completely
grip is,
dissolved.
the grip is loosening, but it is still there. The impressions are still there, because it's an impression that has happened over many years and lifetimes. Yeah. So there is a thinking that I'm a body and mind in the case of a Jivi. And what is the Jeevanmukta's view? Is free from all these identities. What identities? Which are false, which are given in the life. And how is that he is free? Because he has seen by his own intuition that he is beyond this, beyond the identities. You also have seen in your deep sleep state, in the states where you are completely involved with something and you've lost the track of time and space. There are umpteen number of glimpses in everybody's life. Yeah. So the only difference is that is examined and has become the clarity for Jeevanmukta. There is no more confusion that I am a body or I'm this identity or that identity. So that has dissolved. And how that identity has dissolved? Through examination only, through sadhana only. And in the case of a Jivi, there is still an ego that comes into play. And that is the one which is actually blocking the realization of the true self. At any point of time, you know who I am is the only block or the only screen that separates me from the true self. Whereas in the case of a Jeevanmukta, he has become free from ego or dropped the ego, meaning what? Meaning he is able to use the ego. It has become now an instrument. It is like, when you're doing whatever that you do in kitchen, you use so many tools. You use a knife, you use a makcheka, you use a spoon. They are all now tools for you. You know how to use, when to use. Ego has become a tool. Identity has become a tool. So for example, Prabhuji, when he is teaching, he is a teacher to us. When he is talking to his daughter, he is a father to her. So there is no more worry about, ego. Ego is still there, but it is used consciously and kept aside when not needed. In the case of a Jivi, there is a me and the others thinking. I am separate from the rest of the existence.
Yeah.
What they said, what. And in the case of a Jeevanmukta, it is blurred. There is no more me and you, because everything is consciousness only. And how did he arrive at this? He arrived at this through examining life like you and me only. Because it's the same life that is giving the input to Jeevanmukta and you and me. So it's only the nature of what I've realized from that same experience, that is what has made him realize that deeply you and I are the same. There is really no difference. So therefore, there is no more sense of separation. So the feeling of oneness is the fundamental basis. As a child, you had it. As a child, you did not feel separate from anyone. That's your true nature. Right now, because you're masked by the identities, there is a sense of separation. So the childlike innocence, the childlike oneness is again rekindled in a Jeevanmukta. So because of that, now there is no more separation. The thinking is no more, what will I get out of this? What will I enjoy out of this? There is a very genuine sense of how can I be of value to you? So the compassion that we feel in the presence of Prabhuji is not out of thinking. It's a very genuine compassion that you have, towards your child. Towards your child, if your child comes to you running, crying, you have a very genuine feeling of love and wanting to care for the child. See, before the child was born, you did not even have that a child, but now see, you have developed that compassion. How? It is innate within you. Why? Because you're given a feeling that it is mine. It is part of me. Though in a physical sense, it is not part of you, but deep within you, it has become part of you. And likewise, the Jeevanmukta has examined life and realized that everything is part of you. See, that tree, without that tree, how can you even breathe? It is innately part of you. It is offering so much to you. Whatever the food is innately part of you. Everything in the existence. For us to enjoy this very moment, so many things have come together to create this moment. So in a way, in this moment, all the beings are contributing. So that is a deep realization, and that has enabled the Jeevanmukta to be universally conscious. Meaning what? There is any action, it is not for me and myself kind of a thinking. Action is universally good. Loka Kalyana. In the case of a GV, there is a interpretation mechanism that is very active. Memory is a substitute for reality. As soon as an impression comes, oh, you know what they said the other day? They are like this only. Today, they may be saying something else. So there is still a deeply held memory system that is comparing the snapshot of that day and today. So like we examined in our yesterday's Gita session, nobody is the same the very next moment. You are not actually dealing with the same person at all. But still, the memory is the one which makes you feel as if you're dealing with the same person every time. The Saravanan that came to this satsang in the morning is no more there. And that Saravanan is continuously going away. Continuously new Saravanan is coming in that place. But somewhere in my memory, I still keep saying, oh, it is the same Saravanan. So in a way, I become a prisoner of the memory. Then, all the conditioning associated with that Saravanan comes. You know what Saravanan said the other day? You know what Saravanan did the other day? So that is how a GV looks at life. He is interpreting life. The impressions are coming, and there's an interpretation mechanism which is getting supplemented by memory. It is like, they are memory driven. What is memory? Nothing but garbage. What happened that day? So in a way, you're living life with garbage. Whereas in the case of a Jeevanmukta, he looks at the life in a very fresh view every moment, like a childlike innocence. Whereas it doesn't mean that, he is not going to use memory. If you ask Prabhuji, what's your name? He will still say his name. What you did, what is your qualification? All that he will still answer. For all that answer, he will still use his memory. But he is no more conditioned by the memory in the current moment. When he looks at you, he's not going to be thinking about all the other things that you have done or haven't done. In this moment, therefore, there's a very fresh answer. Even if you go and ask the same question 3 times, 4 times, there'll be a fresh angle. So, because he's looking at you in the current moment, because life is happening only in the current moment. And in the current moment, whatever is necessary to supplement that current situation is used from the memory. So the memory is now no more the mechanism, or the goggle is not no more the mechanism through which the life is seen. The goggle is used to see and also not to see, and to see what is the best thing to do. So memory is no more the substitute. And the most important is, in the case of a GV, still a prisoner of karma. I am the doer, I am the enjoyer. I am the one who is doing, and I need to enjoy. And Jeevanmukta, akartaham abhoktaham. I am not the doer, I am not the enjoyer. And that has freed him from the prison called karma. When I am the doer, I of course will enjoy whatever it brings. So akartaham abhoktaham. I am neither the doer nor the enjoyer. So in the present moment, this is happening. And that has become a living reality. So therefore, to your question, again and again, mind has to be reminded. Because it is in the mind that I feel that sense of separation. It is, when I'm interacting with the so-called world, it is when I feel the sense of separation. Why? Again, going back to our drama analogy, existence gives you opportunity to evolve, not only through teaching. So in the Sadguru, in the Satsanga, there is a teaching and contemplation happening. When you are living outside, in the so-called outside world, it is bringing something which feels very real to ensure that whatever you have learned is becoming stable. See, without that reality, see, if the other one who's in front of you, if the other one doesn't have a mind and body feeling, they work in the world as if they're a mind and body, and that, how are you able to deal with it?
Yeah, because in front of that's what happened.
Yeah.
In the presence of the other with a strong mind body identification, kind of it brings mind as well.
Exactly.
And,
Exactly. See, in the presence of a child, you become a child. Have you
yes,
noticed?
yes.
You play, you do all the innocent things. No, there is no tension. Will the child judge me and all that?
Yeah.
When does this all come? When you're in the presence of so-called intelligent people, isn't it? The moment you walk into the presence of intelligent people, meaning what? People who still have a lot of mind and body association. So why is that coming to you? So that you can refine your own internal conditioning. If they are not there, then you listen to Sadhguru and you say, it is so clear, it is realized. True, it is realized. That is the beauty of this. It is realized, correct. But it has to become the stable truth.
Yeah.
Like Prabhuji says, even if one were to wake you up in the night and say, who are you? Saravanan comes out as the answer. But is the answer changing? Yeah. Even in the middle of the night, is the answer changing that I am that indwelling awareness? I am that awareness. Has that become the deeper presence? So for that to deepen, situation C is essential. Without that, how can you deepen? So nowhere to know. Because wherever you go, that mind is still there. So in the presence of Sadhguru, mind is not functioning. Because the presence of the Sadhguru is so powerful that mind is not functioning. Mind is deeply peaceful. Because this mind, which is questioning, kind of goes in, it's like a thief who sees the police and hides. That is what is actually happening.
Yeah.
This thief hides. So, okay, no, there is no more thief, is the feeling. But you walk out of that presence of the police, he's back. But Sadhguru, what is he saying? He's saying that Gurutva is within you, that Sadhguru is within you. So it is not his physical presence that should be the reason for me to feel that sense of peace and joy. Then it is still a dependent phenomena. I am dependent on somebody's presence.
That's right. Yeah.
Sarvadhara Swarupoham. I am the basis of all. So that is not just a mere statement. That is the truth. That is the living reality. But that has to become established within me. So for that, situation is the only way by which It's like the stream happens because of the rocks and the trees. Where there is a rock and a tree, it flows around it. So that's how the stream happens. So for me to get established, situations are extremely important.
Yeah, maybe it's a that's a test. As Prabhuji says, university, universe is university.
Yes.
It's
yes.
yeah, that's very true. Before that happened, I was exactly in that, in the state of like my own prison. I just need to get conscious at that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And getting angry is not necessarily bad, but have I lost and I have reacted with anger? Have I lost the sense of presence and reacted with anger? Or am I aware and am I responding with anger? Two distinct ways. When the response is anger, meaning what? I'm aware that I'm using anger as a tool. Because some situations may require you to use anger as a tool. It's like allopathy. See, you cannot, if somebody is bleeding, you cannot talk about naturopathy there. If somebody is bleeding, you immediately have to give some painkiller and immediately have to stitch it up. So allopathy is okay. As long as you know that you're using allopathy as a tool. Is that expression of anger burning you inside? Then there's a reaction. So have I become a victim of the situation and have I reacted? Or I'm aware of the situation and am I responding? So difference is in reaction versus response. If it is response, perfectly fine. If it is reaction, then I need to once again go back. Okay, yeah. What in that situation made me react? And that shows my boundary. Because what is anger in the first place? Anger is somewhere my boundary is being hit.
Yeah.
So it's a very good thing. It's a very good thing that it is happening. That means that is an area where I need to focus.
Yeah. For that, that day, I think all those things came.
Yes.
I'm the karta, I'm the bhokta, all those things came.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sure.
Satyaji, Rupaji, Shubhaji, anything want to add? All right. Then we'll go to the Jeevanmukta contemplation. So we were in the talk 68 and 89, right? That is what we had to contemplate, right? Or 67 onwards.
67.
67 onwards. Okay, all right.
Yeah, 66 we
66 we contemplated.
We finished last week.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and today I have to go last. So
okay, all right. So who wants to begin? Talk 67 onwards. Shubhaji, have you prepared and do you want to start?
No, sir.
Whatever you have prepared from 66, 67 onwards. You are the Mahavakya Guru. So even if you say 1 or 2 sentences, that's enough.
Seven talks about the 3 states, which is the Tamasic, Rajasic, and Sattvic. And what we need to do is raise above all these 3 to get into to get moksha. And to get above all these 3, the importance of Guru is what is put by Guru.
Sorry, Shubhaji, your voice got cut.
My internet is unstable. And you can hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah.
So the importance of Guru comes in the picture here, how we get out of these three states of Tamasic, Rajasic, and Sattvic. We all think that Sattvic is the one we need to get it, which is above everything. But in reality, it is above Sattvic. Also, we only then we can attain moksha. So self transformation is what is required. When just now Sarananji spoke about his how he reacts to a situation, no? So this talk is a little similar to what it is. Self-improvement and self-transformation. Self-improvement to self-transformation is the stage which we need to get into. But in both the situation, the self remains.
What is the distinction you see, Shubhaji, between self-improvement and self-transformation?
Self-improvement is the stage where we still suffer. But in case of self-transformation, that's what, sir, I wasn't fully prepared.
No issues. That's okay. We'll through your own intuition, you can answer now. Whatever you have understood. When you hear self-improvement, there are so many self-improvement books, so self-improvement talks. What is the distinction between self-improvement versus self-transformation? The way you understand.
I'm not able to get it, sir. Self-improvement is something which we tend to attain all the time. But with self-transformation is what is required at the end of the day. That we get only through the jnana is what I understood.
Correct. But what is the distinction between them? Then it becomes even more clearer. Okay. Does anybody want to take this question? Rupaji, what is your view on what is self-improvement and what is self-transformation?
I think I also want to say the same thing which Shubhaji said now.
Okay.
Vijayji, can I take it over?
Yes, please, Satyaji.
Yeah. So when we talk about self-improvement, it is something we try to do consciously, and the original mind is still there. You are trying to add something or delete something from it, and still see that, inherently the original mind or the small I of the self is still there. But when it comes to transformation, it is like that person is no more there. It is a totally new person. Again, this is also a conscious decision and a conscious effort that we make, where you do not see the from where we started. So the start point is totally erased, and you yourself notice, or people can notice particularly that this is a totally new person. So transformation, we may not be even able to observe. Suppose the first day of the beginning of Tattvabodha or AVSC sessions, and today, maybe with a lot of contemplation, even though Sharananji is shows his anger or whatever, the way he is noticing that I was angry, though he is saying that I'm just a normal unrealized person, this observation or this awareness is what he is. So instead of what he is observing, he is the awareness. That is, he knows that he is angry. He knows that he is, his mind is not going in the right direction. But when that is done consciously, when that anger is shown, as Vijayji you have told just now, that if the same thing is used as a tool consciously, anger, all these things are very much necessary and a part and parcel of life, because there is a journey which this body has to make, which this mind has to make. So if they are used as tools, conscious tools, without burning inside, I mean, that is a transformation which maybe others can easily perceive rather than we observing, because that I is no more there. The transformation has already happened. So we have gone a long way from the start point, and we do not really know that, or we do not even notice that.
Excellent. Sarvanji, you would like to add something?
Yeah. So so from the evolution, when we talk about it, the lowest form being the tamasic, where the person is like completely ignorant, ajnani, and just does without any focus, and tries to steal or harm others and get things done, right? Which is the lowest form, right? And like clearly dependent on someone all the time and suffers, and that's where through definitely through someone, like he's given a direction saying like, why don't you do this, and like you will get a stable let's say food, money every day, right? And when he listens and tries out, he moves from the tamasic to the rajasic state, right? And the moment in the rajasic state, like he can, within that rajasic state, he can evolve further, saying, okay, now I can see that I'm able to, by doing something, I'm getting some wealth. And then he starts seeing others and say, okay, then I need more wealth, I need more power, I need to be more healthy to enjoy. That's where the self-improvement slowly takes over, right? Almost the regular students, right? When they come out, they start with the lowest, at the lowest level of their in the job. They see others and get tips from others on what to do to improve, how to be healthy, what to eat, what not to eat, and what books to read, and to improve, and how to invest money, and that's the self-improvement part. But then again, as the person moves in that state, he is never satisfied at any point of time, right? And that suffering is always there, and one day again, through either through the external person, or maybe through his own karma, that he realizes that okay, there is something else. This is not giving me the ultimate goal of happiness, right? And that's when he starts looking at in a different direction, which is why we are saying self transformation, because that direction basically transforms that individual from where still till now he's been looking out for all the improvement, for all the happiness, and he once he gets into the right direction, he tries to understand the purpose of life, and then start searching for God, right? And that is the time he may follow different masters, different gurus, and may do karma yoga, raja yoga, jnana yoga, and each yoga also gives success in that path. The karma yoga will make him very efficient in doing work. Maybe he will start growing well in his career, right? With the Raja Yoga, he may get siddhis and like become very popular. But it is, while this is better than where he was without the right knowledge he was trying to do, but this is still not the ultimate state, right? And like one has to go beyond that state, and that's where a guru is needed. And that's why they say that when the individual is in the right state, right, okay, the guru comes, right? And basically it's the guru who shows from that sattvic state to the moksha and starts giving atmajnana. And again, the guru points, but the individual has to take the step and enter, right? So so the jnana is all that, like to tell the seeker like who you are, what you are not, and what you need to drop, and what you need to realize what you already are, which is like the self realization, right? So basically we are going from not doing anything to self improvement, to self transformation, to finally to self realization, right? Right, so all these things to finally show him that like who you are and where and like how to be there, right? And this is where we are talking about then, like, oh, okay, so this is all that is, then how do I find the Sadguru? That's the next part. So I'll stop here.
Excellent, Sarunji. So whether it is self-improvement or self-transformation, there is someone who is saying, I need to improve or I need to transform. Now that someone is the actual source of all the troubles in life. That someone within me who says, I need to improve now. I need to earn more because then I'll be happy. So that someone is saying, do this, then you will be happy. That someone is, what in our study we are calling as ego.
Ego.
It has different forms, but it is ego. We just usually use the word ego and move on, but never truly examine where is this ego, what is the source of this ego, and where exactly is this stored. So we never do any of such deeper contemplation. We just accept the fact that, in our usual terms, we talk, they are too much egoistic, I have no ego at all. So like that, we generally talk and we move on. We never really pause, reflect, what is ego, where is ego, what is the source of the ego. That examination is never done. But we continue to live on. So depending upon the refinement of the ego is the one which is being essentially termed as tamasic ego or rajasic ego or sattvic ego. But it is ego. It's a thief in the first place. The tamasic ego will make me feel sleepy, and then somebody will come and prod me. No, this is not the way. You do something. So I become rajasic. So that rajasic is activity oriented. I have to get fame, name, money, power, whatever, status, so on and so forth. So that is all in the self-improvement. Because when you look at it in terms of self-improvement, if you learn some skills, of course you're going to be doing better. You rather than going to local engineering college, aim for IIT. Yeah, it is much better. You'll earn better. Do MBA, or don't do it in the local colleges, do it in the IIMs. You'll do better in life. So there is a wanting to get name and fame and money and whatever. So self-improvement. You read this book, you will be so sharp in this leadership position. You will become a very efficient manager. Okay, now I read that book. You attend this workshop. The technique that teach about how to control your mind and emotions. You will be able to control your emotions. So you know how to control things. You've not yet learned how to transcend. It is controlling. There is still a sense of controlling. I have to control. They teach, no? Control your emotions, control your anger, learn how to control your stress, stress management. There are so many hundreds of seminars on stress management. Please tell me one thing. If it is something valuable in life, is what you need to learn how to adapt. Look at the very statement, stress management. You're not being taught how to go beyond stress. You're being told how to manage stress. When you get stressed, go and take a ball and squeeze it. That is one technique they teach. When you get a stress, you go and scream out loud in an empty room. Or when you feel stress, come and have some couple of drinks. When you have stress, take a vacation, chill pill, relax. It is like your mind, which is deeply conditioned, is still there. For the moment, it is being given a distraction. So self-improvement is all about distracting your mind. The source, the thief, is not yet caught. The thief is still there hiding. He is now hiding in a different form. He has now become, oh, now I am a improved person. I used to get so angry, so miserable. Now I know how to control. But still, when somebody comes in front of me, that boss comes in front of me, I still am baking inside, but outside I feel, oh, nice. Hello, how are you? It is like if you've ever traveled to US, I'm not using that as a common example. It happens anywhere for that matter, but generally I've seen it there. In the stores, the store people are taught how to behave. They look at you, hello, sir, please welcome, please welcome. Is it a genuine feeling that is making them welcome you? No, it is good for business. You be nice with the customer. And look at how they talk behind you. That crappy fellow who came out, those people, they don't know what to talk about. They come and ask me all these nonsense questions. They're constantly seething and foaming inside. So that is not yet gone away. But it is self-improvement. It's all self-improvement. You're becoming better. From what? From what? Whose angle? From outside angle. Inside, you're still burning. And that is what leads to various problems in life. It manifests in various relationship problems. It manifests as various health issues. It manifests as various disasters that we see in life today. Because it's all about improvement. Because something needs to be fixed now. The very idea of improvement means what? There is something that is broken. The world is broken. I have to fix the world. People are bad. I have to fix the people. People are so bad that I have to kill them. So improvement is all about doing such actions where, because the thief is out there. So the internal thief is not yet found at all. And that is where a sattvic ego is very helpful. Sattvic ego turns the question and turns the search inwards. That's why the example of Ramana, who is constantly out there to grab something, gain something, want something. Whereas at least now the sattvic ego is towards, okay, so the problem is not out there, the problem is in here. But that thief is still there. And that thief is the one who is actually even dangerous, very dangerous thief. Because this thief is able to masquerade as, oh, I'm feeling so peaceful. I am on the spiritual path. I am spiritually evolved. Look at that fellow. They have no spiritual knowledge also. So this thief is even more subtler thief. Rajasic thief, at least you could easily identify. But this sattvic thief is very subtle thief. He comes out as, I am so service oriented. I am so nice. I am, I know all the meaning. Oh, I understand. So this sattvic thief, but at least he's helping us to move in that right direction. So ultimately, all the three thieves have to be dropped. Dropped means what? Means become very clear that The thief nature is not my nature. I am not the nature of the thief. My nature and my awareness is not the thief's awareness. I am the awareness. I am the pure awareness. That has to become established. So that is self-improvement to self-transformation to, like Saravananji put it nicely, self-realization. Akartaham abhoktaham. I am not the doer, I am not the enjoyer. So that is a journey. Very nicely, Saravananji has put this picture, as you can see here. There's an evolution. There's an evolution. But in a way, it is not a journey. In a way, recognition happens. It's not a journey. It's always there. I simply did not see it. I simply did not see it. So in a way, there is no journey. But in a way, there is a journey. So that is the distinction between self-improvement and self-transformation and self-realization. So the fundamental thief, ego, you know who I am, that is the one which is taking me on all this journey. So that's why dropping the ego, dropping the connection to the ego, again and again going back to who am I, again and again going back to who am I, is the surefire way by which the self-realization can occur. So therefore, self-transformation is an oxymoron. What do you mean by self-transformation? It is something else and you need to do something else or become something else. Transformation. So it means that self is imperfect. So you are transforming. That is not correct at all. So self-transformation is also a thief's game only. So self-realization. So self-improvement. So self-transformation to ultimately self-realization. Shubhaji, is this bringing clarity?
Yes, sir.
Can you now say, what is that, you kind of grasped from all this discussion?
I'm not able to put it across right away. I'll go through it once more and make a...
Certainly, Shubhaji.
Yeah.
So shall we move on then?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes, Shubhaji. So what is that next thing that you wanted to say from the talk 67?
Sir, I would like to excuse myself today. I'm actually got into a family discussion.
Okay,
So,
okay. No issues. No
in
issues.
between. So I had to be there. So
Yeah.
I would like to go through this video again and then come back on this, sir.
Okay, Shubhaji. No issues.
Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. Rupaji, would you like to take it up?
No, Vijayji, I have not prepared anything today.
Okay, all right. How about Satyaji?
I'm a backbencher, Vijayji.
Sorry, Satyaji, couldn't hear clearly.
I'm a backbencher.
Oh, backbencher.
Want to take leads only after Saravananji.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's continue, Saravananji.
Yeah. So so we see that once a seeker is in the sattvic state and and like while he, the seeker may be better than seen is better than the tamasic or rajasic, still there is the suffering continues. Okay, and that's where as the seeker starts looking deeper and when and like by this time actually the seeker also goes through that with the transformation, like maybe like he or she has reached the state where like they are ripe, like they have the right qualities, right? Shat Sampatti, right? Where they are ready to get the jnana, and that's where the guru appears, Sadguru appears, right? So because even if the seeker wants to know, okay, there is, I hear this now, and like how can I go to the Sadguru? Who is the Sadguru, right? The seeker cannot find the Sadguru, and the reason being, the Sadguru is someone like who has actually done what we are talking about, who has dropped the ego. So like external, from the external nature, you cannot identify unless like you know what it is, you cannot identify, right? So a Sadguru actually appears to the seeker when the seeker is has progressed to a state and has got the right qualities, right? And and when so but the seeker can uh, can uh, can see can observe something in the presence of a Sadguru, which is basically you get um, a good knowledge of the scriptures. The Sadguru is always a Shrotriya, right? The Guru has learned the scriptures and like is able to explain very clearly to the seekers, right? And not only that, like is able to teach, he also lives by that, right? Okay, his Sadguru's life will be example of what he's teaching as well, right? Brahmanishta also, right? And because they'll be realized, they will be living in the as per the teachings as well. So these two are very clearly seen in case of Sadguru, and so a seeker will feel very peaceful and like have a great clarity in the presence of a Sadguru. These are ways to figure out like whether the seeker is in the right path, and otherwise like the seeker may get a lot of comments saying like, why this guru, why not this guru, and like is this guru living the way he's teaching, all those comments, which is good for that seeker, because the seeker should get the answer from within, right? A seeker cannot follow blindly. A blind faith will also not help him realize the real self, right? So and these are the ways one can see whether he's in the right path, he has the right Sadguru. And again, as we say, the gurus, the Sadguru is again kind of a role, and like each student will have to find his own guru who is able to connect based on the place or the time, or using the right language to clearly like explain what things are, right? So one has to find his own Sadguru, and it's always said more than a guru who's not in the present, like a living guru is a lot more important, because again in the presence of the guru, lot more things or lot more changes happen, right? And also one should be able to ask questions and get the clarity. It's not just following by reading book of what the past gurus have said, or like what listening to some videos, right? Because again they are limited by the language, right? It is still not original, right? It has the gurus have said, it has been captured by somebody in a book or in a video. Again, that the seeker is going to interpret in his own way, right? And one always should ensure that like you don't fall into your own pit of not having the complete clear interpretation of the knowledge. So a living guru is that way is very, very needed, where you are able to clarify your understanding, right? And like there is, I think this is from the explanation point of view, and there is lot more happens in the presence. Again, we have heard about like how even with silence, a guru gives the teaching, right? So it's not necessarily you only need the words or the actions to learn, right? In the presence, the presence with silence also has lot more effect, right? So these are and like basically this is where we say that guru who helps the seeker in the presence, in the living moment, becomes the karana guru, right? And again we say that the guru also takes to the union of like not just talking or explaining, to become one with the teaching, right? um, so and like we have seen like many examples of Sri Ramakrishna, Ramana Maharshi, Krishna, Buddha. All of them they have lived with the gurus, right? One exception may be the Ramana Maharshi's current life, but as per Guruji, like he had, it's not just this life, right? We all evolve through multiple physical forms, physical mapping to the lives, and like each life, the learning continues, right? And I've heard that Ramana Maharshi said like the uh, the mountain was his guru, and that also I heard that Tiruvannamalai hills, that the hills itself he called as a guru, right? And that's where the phrase comes, Ishvaro Guru Atmeti, right? Where a sincere seeking, like to the higher power, say God, brings the Sadguru at the right moment, and with the grace of Sadguru, then you basically get Atmajnana to liberation next, right? So yeah, so these are all the basically to give importance on the need for the Sadguru to go from that sattvic state to moksha, because it's not something like one can do by himself or herself. It's not a self-study thing, because any self-study will again be within the realm of mind, right? So someone's coming to say that okay, you need to break this. Until someone says that there is something around you, you will not know, right? So that's where the need for the guru, right? And also they say that guru gives the right key to open that gate to get out, to get liberated, right? And many examples again was given of Ramakrishna, who did like 64 different sadhanas he learned, and but then like he did not give that all to all his seekers, but he gave one, which for Vivekananda, the right one, that's, or like whatever was needed for that disciple, right? It's like a prescription thing, right? For a patient, you give the right medicine. You don't need to should give all the learning to them, right? So yeah, that way a guru basically helps simplify the whole process to get to where we want to go, right? So maybe I'll stop there.
Excellent. Very nice, Arunanji. Yes, Satyaji.
Very nice, Charananji. In fact, now
Yeah.
I do have a better clarity now. Yeah, I mean, as per my understanding too, whatever state that is Tamasic, Rajasic, or Sattvic, though we may say that Sattvic, the example given here is Vibhi. So he appears to be a better person than Kumbhakarna, Ram. Again, It is not any particular state. All these are something that we are just seeing in the process, where in the journey, or all these things are something we come across when we still are the mind, right? When we still have the mind. These are things that we come across, and none of these things are something that we are. Or this moment I may be very sattvic, or next moment I am tamasic or rajasic. These are all the different ways the mind projects itself. Because of its actions, you can give a name to each one of these things. And similarly, the three states of waking, dream, and deep sleep, even these are different states, which all these are experiences. The mind is doing something and we are experiencing something. But going beyond all these things is, we need not say that I am Rajasic or I am very Tamasic. There is no, you need not be judgmental. That is, that I am this. No, you are neither of these things. Even if you are Sattvic, it is not the end point. So these are the different states that you can observe in yourself and in others. And all that is the different shades of the mind, because of the situation, or because of your memory, your fear, or past and future. So none of this is I. So going beyond all these things and seeing that everything is as it is, like it is Satata, that's all. I mean, there is a state where I'm Rajasic, yes, I accept. And there is a state I'm Tamasic, yes, I accept. So it is not that you are doing anything. So that non-doership is where everything is happening. I am angry. Yes, I was supposed to be angry at that moment. I am happy. I was supposed to be happy. It is like accepting the situation, the circumstance. Yes, instead of reaction, it should be response. Okay. When it is conscious, it is a response. If it is unconscious, it is a reaction. So that way, when we are beyond all these things, where we are not giving any plus or minus, 100 out of 100 for Sattvic and 0 for Tamasic, when we are going beyond all these things without judging ourselves and without judging who is in the same conditioning, when that is not there, it is like everything is one. When I am conscious, I am looking at everyone as conscious. So that way, it is the whole world being, and there is no difference between I and you. And that is the process. I mean, that is the key to. I mean, it is like that self-realization where you totally understand or realize the truth. All this, the three states, or all the Avastha-traya, Prakrya, or the Tamasic, Rajasic, are something which we are just observing and defining here, but none of that. This is my understanding. And just like a doctor, he need not try every medicine on us. A Sadguru, I think Prabhuji comes up with this one Nanu Nanambudu. I think that is one key medicine which can be applied in every situation, in every circumstance. I think that is the one key mantra which again gets us back to yes, nothing of this is me. Nothing of this is me. What I am is what I am. And there is no addition. You need not plus one to that or minus one to that. So not a ray more, not a ray less. We are already that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that again and again going back to that recognition that I am that pure self is very important. Very nice, Satyaji. Satyaji, so what is your comment on communication to communion?
So initially, when we are seeking the Guru, so seeking again comes from the mind. So the mind, because of its agitation or confusion, there is a need for communication. The need for communication arises because you totally understand. If the communication is with a Guru, even with a Guru, the need first arises because you feel that there is a situation or a circumstance which is bothering you. So When will it bother? When you see that you and the other person or you and the situation are two different things. In fact, is Brahman. Brahman is the manifestation. I mean, the world is manifested. So it is one and the same. But your mind, it is good at discrimination. Your mind is totally, it wants to, divide and rule. It thinks that let me rule over this, let me rule over this, let me win over this. So when you're winning on something or someone, it means that you are totally looking at that as a separate thing, a separate entity from you. So when the more the separation, even though you feel that you have won on a person or won a situation or circumstance, it is still losing because you have, made the gap even more wider. So union is when you totally realize that this is not required. That is you winning over something because everything is one. Do you try to win over your child anytime? Do you try to win over? We don't try to win over because inherently you totally that the child and you are one. Though the minds are different, the bodies are different, the situation, circumstance, everything is different. The journey is different. We feel that it is one and the same. So because of that mental function, if the mind is able to project oneness between a child and you, why cannot it project the same oneness between the world and you? So it is the mind which is the instrument that has to be used in both the cases. So the more and more you communicate, yes, it will ensure some clarity, particularly if it is with the right people. If it is with a Sadguru, in a satsang, there is a right communication where you open up because there is a constant need and urge. Okay, it's need for justification, validation. What did I do? Is it right? Is it wrong? But beyond that, there is nothing required when communion, when there is oneness. There is no communication required. Even silence is good communication.
Excellent. Communion can be thought of in terms of abiding in the self. So when you are, when can you abide in the self? What kind of situations you can abide in the self? Are there particular places and times when you can abide in the self? No, it is a constant feature. That is who you are. So going away from, I need to realize, I need to enlighten myself. I will be enlightened one day. That is still in the communication realm. Because there is still somewhere I will get there. It's an event. It's an event. Mind has made the enlightenment into an event now. So the Rajasic mind now is turning Sattvic, and it has now recognized that there is something called as enlightenment, where the promise is bliss. So now it has made that into an event, another accomplishment. Now the accomplishment is not money, but enlightenment. I will be enlightened. I don't care anymore about the money. That's all for lower level people. Now I'm evolved. Now I want to be enlightened. So now that has become the next trophy. So it's become a event. One day I will be enlightened. But is that the reality? That is not the reality. And how can I realize that? Only through the right communication. So in that sense, communication is necessary because that first has to come into me. And I have to contemplate on that. So Shravana Manana, Nidhidhyasa is communion. Holding on to that. Getting established in that. So that is why in the Sthita Prajna Lakshana of Bhagavad Gita, the Sthita Prajna is not at all craving for any of the riches of the life, is one of the explanation given. Sthita Prajna is in whatever may be the situation, up or down, is equanimous. or it is also illustrated in so many other stories. You know the story of a thief who was told that, in the tree where the guru is sitting for meditation, there is some diamond, steal it. So the guru knows that the thief is there. He invites him and he shows him where the diamond is. And this thief, oh, I don't have to steal anymore. He takes it happy, goes home. And in the night when he is keeping that in the trunk, suddenly he has a flash of realization. This fellow was sitting there and he knew that where it is, but never had the craving for it. There must be something deeper than that. There must be something else that he must have or possess, which is making him give away such a precious stone. So what a wonderful story. So he runs back. You must have something. Why? That's why you gave this away. In our Ghati ashram, there is a third floor where there is a meditation hall, and Guruji has kept a Baba Vigraha, and Baba Vigraha is on a small mound, and the mound has a lot of precious stones, not really precious, but you can see that they are precious. And this is a statement. Baba says, all these are like below my feet. And as you know, Baba himself used to wear very ordinary dress and ordinary clothes. In the Baba temple, they may give kirita and whatnot, but Baba himself lived very simple life. So what is enabling, or what is that is making that Baba feel that all this is so not precious? So there must be something more, something that cannot be lost forever, because stone can always be lost, can be stolen by somebody. You always still have the fear. So nidhi dhyasa, that nidhi is within. Nidhi dhyasa, realizing that nidhi within, which can never be lost, then there is no more fear, because it can never go away. You are the embodiment of peace. You are the embodiment of happiness. You are that. So I will not become happy one day. I am the source of happiness. So then where is the source of, where is the reason for misery? Where is the reason for any craving? Then why would I want something from life to make me feel fulfilled? So that sense of completeness, the trupti, that feeling that I have had enough, I no more need anything in life. That is not a mere intellectual statement now. It's a deep clarity. So that is communication to communion. There is no more seeking. Recognition of the Purnatva. Purnamada Purnamidam. So that is complete. This is complete. This cannot be made any more complete. That cannot be made any more complete. If you remove something, it is incompleteness only. So therefore, you cannot really remove anything. If you add, it is incompleteness only. Each drop of water is complete by itself. So is the ocean. You cannot make the ocean any more complete. You cannot make the drop of water any more complete. Communion. So therefore, there is no more craving. But still seva continues. It is not out of wanting the recognition. It is just purely out of as a response to the current situation. Guru Gobind Singh built Khalsa, whereas Buddha taught the way of dharma. Depending upon the time and the space, yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata, abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam sujamyaham. Depending upon the space and time, different avatars of Ishvara. Who is Ishvara? Atma only. Ishvaro Guru Atmeti. So that divine, that self, is nothing but self in you. is nothing but Ishvara. So that self only manifests as Ishvara, manifests as you, manifests as everything in the world. And the Guru that comes in front of you is that self only. So Ishvara Guru Atmeti. So truly it feels like there are three entities. There is me, there is Guru, there is Ishvara, but they are all one, self only. Ishvaro Guru Atmeti. Atma only, self only comes in the form of Guru to teach you about the existential reality and to make you aware of the Ishvara, and that is you, Tattvamasi. So Prabhuji these days have been sending, I don't know how many of you follow Sadhguru teachings. In the Sadhguru teachings, Prabhuji sends this small writings. So if you read this, it's all about self. Self has no problem. Look at this difference. Self, the big self, has no problem. Small self has never a solution. You will never find a solution. And the small self is self in disguise. So Atma and Ishvara only. Not knowing this, whole of life is lost. Know that solution lies within self, me, the so-called me. Seeking self is real solution. So this small self is Jiva, this big self is Atma, self is self, Tattvamasi. So Ishvara Guru Atmeti. Atma only is Ishvara, is Atma only, it's Guru. Guru is within me only. Guru and me are not two separate entities. Guru, therefore, is not this outer form. We recognize Guru as this, but this is not Guru. Guru is that unseeable, but seen through the compassion of this Guru. Guru is that unknowable, but known through the love of this form. So there is one wonderful Kannada song, Guru Dayamaya Karunamaya. Is the most compassionate and the most kind. That is your true nature. Ishvara Guru Atmeti. All right. Anything to say or ask by anyone? Shubhaji, Rupaji, anything to say or ask?
Thank you, Vijayji. I mean, I did not, I have never observed that, poster. But the explanation that you gave and, the captions there, they are great. I mean, I think each sentence there, it needs in-depth contemplation.
Yes.
Really.
Yeah. Yes, Arunji, you were saying something?
Yeah, no. So I said when I type it, when I get the words, like that itself takes me through lot of contemplation. I have seen.
Yeah.
So yeah, good. These are good. Good.
See, that is what mantra is. That is what mantra is. Mantra is that which helps you evolve into your true being. So in that way, Sadhguru's words are mantras. Kanakadasa went to Vyasaraya And when Kanakadasa went to Vyasaraya, some of the other Shishyas said, he's from a lower caste, you go there, go out. But to show the greatness of Kanaka, Vyasaraya gave him Kona mantra. Kanaka went and asked Vyasaraya, give me a mantra diksha. Hey, what mantra diksha to you? Go and do the japa of Kona mantra. So he just said, do one japa of Kona. Kona means a buffalo. What can I teach you? You go and just do a japa of Kona. And the Shishyas thought, oh, see, he's a lower caste, he will not be taught by our Guru. The Guru had a greater intention. So he started contemplating. He started doing the japa of Kona. And the story goes that the Yama's Kona only manifested there. And all the Shishyas were so afraid. They went to Vyasaraya. And he said, I cannot do anything. It is Kanaka. Go and ask Kanaka. So then they realize the greatness of Kanaka. So like that, what the Guru says, each word is a precious jewel. Because Guru's words are coming from the depth of that beingness. They are not mere words. They are not mere mental conceptualizations. They are not there to please you. They are coming from the depth of the existence. They say, no, from the heart. It is coming from the heart of the God. So therefore, they have a transformative effect. When I just choose to be in its presence, when I just choose to let go of my own identity, when I say I'm willing to keep it aside and receive. They say, no, when you go to a temple, remove your shirt and go around. Why? Because the energy there will affect you. Energy there, you have to get the energy. So that is a prana vidya. Temple is a prana vidya. Like that is Sadhguru's words. It has prana. And that's why when you're listening to that talk, it brings about some opening. So Ishvaro Guru Atmeti. It is the existence speaking to you. You are no different from that. When you open up your heart, you also receive that. Shall we end our contemplation today? Sarananji, prayer.
Right seeking. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, lead me from untruth to truth, darkness to light, impermanence to permanence. Self is the whole. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, that is complete. This is complete. When completeness is removed from completeness, what remains is complete. When completeness is added to completeness, totality remains complete. Om, peace, peace, peace. Who am I? Nanu நானென்பது நானல்ல, இதேக மனபுத்தி நானல்ல, சச்சிதானந்த ஆத்ம சிவனானு நானே. சிவோகம் சிவோகம் சிவோகம். I am not the body, mind, intellect. I am pure consciousness, Shiva Swarupi. I am true self. Is liberation. Atma darshanam, Brahma darshanam, Brahma darshanam, Satya darshanam. Recognition of self is recognition of the whole. Recognition of the whole is the truth. May all be free from suffering. Om Triyambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarkamiva Bandhanat Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Om Triyambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarkamiva Bandhanat Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Purvarkamiva Bandhanat Mrityur Mukshiyamamritat. We worship the three-eyed one who is fragrant and who nourishes all. Like the fruit falls off from the bondage of the stem, may we be liberated from death, from mortality. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy, healthy, and peaceful. Hari Om.
Thank you very much, Arunji. Thank you. Thank you all. Next Sunday, I will not be, I'll have to be in ashram. So we'll resume the week after.